Ivan, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good, good. Come on in. What a surprise. Take a seat. Come on in.
Thanks.
Come on in. Here, let me go ahead and close this door here. Ivan, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good, good, good. So, what a cool day it's been today, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty foggy and rainy.
Wow, is that rain? I know it was raining out, pouring outside right now earlier. So did it catch you pretty hard as you were driving over here?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Oh,
It
wow.
stopped. It stopped now, but yeah.
Oh, that's good, yeah. And then I'm assuming you also saw the football game, right? You know, you're
The-
one of the biggest Raiders fans that I know of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good game in Mexico. They were playing.
Oh, wow, you got to see you saw the whole game?
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
good.
good. That's good. Do you think it was pretty a controversial game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Raiders made a huge comeback at the end.
Huge comeback there. Oh, that's good, man. That's good. Well, anyways, I'm glad you know you're here. But you know, before we start talking about whatever you're here for you to be talking to me, talk to me about, I just want to let you know that whatever we talk about will stay in here. I'm not gonna go out and share any information with anybody.
Okay.
So whatever is said in here will stay in this room.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So talk to me. What brings you here today?
Well, I felt a little uneasy because I've seen my sister. She's been having problems with people in the school, and you can kind of sense it. And there's been a little bit, not exactly bullying, but I guess you could say harassment going on. It's like uneasy friendships, and it makes focusing a little harder here because I'm talking with my friends, doing my work, but
But at the same time, you're keeping an eye on your sister just to be sure that she's not getting bullied or harassed by anybody.
I don't want her to be a victim.
Have you noticed any strange behavior in your sister?
Well, she's my sister, but she's been more isolated around me and our group of friends and stuff.
Trying to get into your group instead from what?
Yeah, and she's been, just she's been acting different, being farther away from us and not wanting to hang out with us or work with us.
Have you ever tried talking to your sister? See
Not
if
about
anything's
that,
okay?
no, because she doesn't really talk to me about that closely. Like, yeah.
So your plan, what's your plan with your sister? You just want to find a better solution to help your sister? Is what you're
Well, yeah, so that, none of us feel uneasy, because it's not just affecting me, it's affecting a couple other kids that I know.
Yeah, so I can see on your perspective of you're coming to school, but at the same time, you're doing your homework, you're hanging out with your friends, but at the same time, you have another worry to worry about, which is your sister, right? So I see that you're trying to keep an eye on her also, but at the same time, you're over here hanging out and, working with working with your friends, studying together, which is what I've seen, because I've seen you guys in your guys' little study group. I've seen like you're there with your friends and you guys are working on homework or working on projects, which is really good. But at the same time, I've also noticed that you're keeping an eye on something else also.
Yeah.
The best solution for this would be, just try to invite your sister over to your group. Just see if she needs any help, or if you see her working quietly on her own, then just say, hey, just checking out to see if you need any help. Just let me know if you do. But if you do see some strange behavior, just be sure to let one of us know. You can let me, the counselor know. You can let the school principal know, or you can let the teacher know, and we will take care of it right away. But thank you for bringing that up. Best thing to do when it comes to bullying is just always report it.
Yeah.
Always let us know, because I know, that's that is not good. That's not good, and that can hurt. You as your brother, that can hurt her also. Socially and emotionally. It may not be physically, but it can be emotionally. That can hurt your sister also.
Okay. So I'll try to invite her in the group.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, cool. Excellent.
You've also been bringing up the financial aid.
Yes.
What do I need? What are the requirements for that so that I can bring them and get all these things ready for college and stuff?
Okay, so for financial aid, let me go ahead and start from the very top. For financial aid, basically all we need are your parents' income tax, social and your social security cards. The first
Ours?
thing, yeah, all of yours, yeah. Unless they're included on your taxes, then that's pretty much all we would need. But it's always just good to bring them in case you're needed.
Okay.
Before you even start, before you start working on your application, what's needed on your behalf and your parents' behalf, it can be either your mom or your dad, a FAFSA ID account. That FAFSA ID account is basically creating a password. So you're gonna create a username and a password. In case your password is misplaced, you're gonna come up with 4 questions. One of those questions can be, when was I born? Where was I born? And those are security questions, like in case if your password is misplaced or lost, and you call a financial aid office or try to retrieve your password, those are one of the questions that they're gonna ask you. Or if your mom loses her password, that she's gonna have to go through the same thing. So that's step number 1, creating an account for you and your mom, or your dad. And then once that is complete, then we start with the application, with the financial aid, application. The first part is basically your information, information about the colleges that you're planning on going, and then we get to your hobbies, and then it'll get to the your parents' financial information. And then after the financial information, that's when you can go ahead and submit your application. So the easy thing about it is that you can submit your application online, electronically, so it's a lot easier. But
I still need to bring the social security.
Yeah, you still need to bring in,
taxes
we still need to bring in, because we need to input that information just to verify information. And then also, as I was mentioning, you can also submit your application electronically, but that's one of the reasons why we need your FAFSA ID, because it requires signature. If you're signing online.
You told me to make a FAFSA ID. Do I need to come to you? Can I make that online too?
You can ask me, I'm more than happy to help you out. You can come to me and I can help you get started in case you have any questions, because it can be a little confusing. You can also bring your mom or your dad with you, and we can work on them all. We can work on them together, and we can get that started also. It should only take about 30 to 45 minutes to complete.
Right.
So yeah, but if you can come and see me, tomorrow or next week, and bring your parents over with you, we'll get it done in one day. And like I mentioned, 45 minutes, it'll be easy.
Okay. Do you need my parents to come, or you just need the information and the?
It'd be good if your parents are here, because how old are you? You're under 18, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good for parents to come over here, so that way I can show both you and your parents how it's done. So next year when you go to college and you have to reapply for financial aid again, because you have to reapply every year, I can show you how to fill out the financial aid application, and I can show your parents also. Like in case you have any questions, your parents are there to help you out, but you guys can always give me a call also.
So when I'm done with the financial aid, what's next for my college readiness?
So after you complete your financial aid and you list the colleges that you're planning on going to, you gotta start applying for college. So you gotta apply for whatever colleges you're gonna apply for, whether if it's Fresno State, UC Merced, UC Santa Cruz. You gotta start putting in your applications. If you can, apply for as many as you can. The more the better.
So there's not a limit to it?
No, there's not a limit. No, there's not a limit. At the end, you're gonna choose one, right? So you're gonna start breaking. You're probably gonna create a list of 20 colleges, and then from there it's gonna break down to, from 20 to 10 to 5 to 2, and then at the end you're gonna decide on one. So if you can apply to as many as you can, even better. But also you want to consider many things. You want to consider what career path you're gonna take. If you're gonna go into engineer, up in the coastal area, San Francisco, San Jose, Santa Cruz, Monterey area, they have great jobs in engineering.
Okay.
So you're better off, at least from my perspective of view, you're better off going to any of the universities along the coast, because you're always gonna find a great job in engineering out there. At least here in the Central Valley, not very many good jobs in the Central Valley. Here in the Central Valley, basically, it's more like, teachers, nurses, but from what I hear, based on research, from what I hear, the engineers usually find good jobs out there in coastal areas, San Francisco, Los Angeles area.
Okay.
You also want to consider housing. Are you planning on moving? Like, if you're given the opportunity to live, to go to, I don't know, let's say UC Santa Cruz, are you obviously planning on living on campus or off campus, right?
Right.
But what is your plan for that? Have you thought about that yet?
I'd probably live off campus. Yeah.
Probably live off campus?
Yeah, near the school site, but
Mhm.
off campus would
Yeah,
probably
okay.
be my recommendation.
That's great. Now, are you planning on getting a job if you're gonna be living off campus or on campus, I mean, you'll be getting
Yeah.
part of financial aid as help,
Yeah,
right?
I'd probably be getting a job.
But I mean, you need, for your utilities, you need for food, for clothing, for gas, you're gonna be driving out there, right?
Mhm.
So you're planning on getting a little part-time job?
Yeah, yeah, probably a job. Because I gotta pay for this stuff too.
Yeah.
And then the plan was to do community and then go there. So
So is that one thing you're thinking about, doing community and then transfer
Right.
home? Well.
what do you think on that?
Well, this is what I think.
I mean, for the engineering, then you said to be going somewhere around the coastal area.
Well, this is a good thing. There's a couple of things to remember. The positive thing about community college is that you can focus on getting your lower division courses out of the way,
Okay.
and it's a lot cheaper. When I say lower division, I mean your English,
Yeah,
your
English.
math, geography, science, social studies, all those classes that are needed. I believe it's 30 to 60 lower division units that will transfer out to any four-year university.
Okay.
And you're gonna save up a lot of money also, because I know here in Madera, we have our Madera Community College. So if you're undecided about what career path you wanna take, if you're still undecided about going into engineering, or you're thinking about doing something else also, then I recommend you go into community college, and that'll not only save you some time, but that'll save you some money financially also.
Okay.
So at least that'll give you, those 2 years will give you some time to think, okay, what is it that I wanna do? Do I really wanna go into engineering, or do I wanna go into, I don't know, teaching, or into criminal justice, or lawyer, whatever you wanna do. That'll give you some time to think. And as you're getting closer on finishing up your lower division courses, could take you 2 years, depending on the pace that you go. So if you're going full-time, you'll guaranteed be able to transfer out in 2 years. So,
Out of the community.
out of community to any university. As long as you're maintaining at least 12 units per semester, then you'll be able to transfer out easily.
Okay.
And passing all your courses with at least a C or better.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I recommend.
Are the community requirements versus the university requirements different to enter straight into community versus straight into university?
Well, to go, okay, so if we're looking into going into a California State University, like Fresno State, Monterey State University, very different from a UC to a CSU to community college. Starting off with community college. With community college, all you basically need is a 2.0 GPA or higher and your high school diploma, and just to apply.
Okay.
That's it. You may need to take some placement tests, but that's just to see your level in reading and in math also. As far as for CSU, there's a bit more required.
Okay.
We have to follow what's called the A to G requirements.
Alright.
You need 4 years of English, 3 years of math is required, but they recommend 4. They need 2 years of science, they sometimes recommend 3. You need 3 years of social studies, history, US history, world history, civics, and economics. You need 1 year of art, which can be in art class, drama, music, anything that corresponds to art. And then you need at least 2 years of a foreign language also, which can be Spanish.
Is this for CSU?
This is for CSU.
Because I have all those requirements, so maybe I'll do with CSU.
Oh, okay, perfect. Then maybe we can.
Yeah, I've done the
Yeah.
arts. I've done
You've
two,
done
not
that?
the 2 years of language.
All that stuff. Everything.
Yeah, all that stuff. Okay.
And then also, you also need to take, I don't know if you've done it yet, the SAT and the
Yeah.
ACT.
Okay.
If you've done those, and then if you have a 2.0 GPA or higher, then you can. But this is the tricky part though. If you have a 3.0 GPA or higher, then you'll get accepted easily. They'll see your test scores, but they won't take into consideration your test scores.
They want.
But if you have anything below 3.0, then they say, okay, so he has a 2.0, for example, let's say you have a 2.8 GPA, right? 2.8 GPA. So you need to get a certain score on the both tests to be able to get accepted to whatever college you want to go to.
Okay.
So it'd be easier if you have a 3.0 GPA, let's say you have a 3.5 or 3.8, you'll be able to get into any university easily. Because remember, you're going to be competing with other students.
Right.
So if the higher the GPA, the higher the chances you'll be able to get accepted into any four-year college you want to. As far as the UCs, it's basically the same thing as the CSUs, but they do recommend you having a higher GPA. We're talking 3.0 or above. You gotta take both, tests also, the SAT and the ATT. And then you also gotta complete a couple of, what I believe they call your personal statement. I guess you gotta write like a little 2-page personal statement on whatever topic they want you to write about. So I guess, as I mentioned, you're competing with other students, so they're gonna take into consideration your grades, your test scores, your personal statement, and then any hobbies that you did when you were in high school. Like, did you do sports? Were you involved in any active after-school activities? Were you in clubs? Are you currently
So
doing any of that?
school participation, they also look at that.
That's a huge plus, yes. School participation is a huge plus. So,
Okay.
it can come to a case where on your end, let's say for example, okay, I have a valedictorian student over here who has a 4.3 GPA, and did great on his test scores. But then I have Ivan over here who has a 3.7 GPA, but he did basketball and he was the student body president and is running 2 after school clubs, but this person wasn't really quite involved, so they like to see kids that are really active in the community.
Okay.
Why? Because you guys are the future, right? This country, you guys are gonna do great things here for our country. So yeah, is that one thing? Are you still trying to decide what you want to do, or what you want to do?
You talk about the CSUs, and that's pretty. That actually interests me, the CSUs.
Yeah.
So I'll probably right now it's between community and CSU. I know you're not gonna go straight to university, but if you could just tell me what CSU's benefits from community, like what does a CSU have that a community doesn't necessarily have?
Well, what a CSU has is that you'll be able to get your bachelor's degree through a
Okay.
CSU. Yeah. As far as a community college, all you can do is earn an associate's degree, an AA degree, and be able to transfer out.
So
Now, an
get
AA degree is optional. You don't have to get an AA degree.
Okay.
That's just optional. If all you want to do is just transfer out, then you can transfer out and earn your bachelor's degree. And if you're looking into getting a master's degree, then that'll be available also, or a PhD also.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
in a CSU, you pretty much start working in that job,
Basically, yes.
Basically.
Yeah, basically.
and then
Yeah.
with that, you can go to your university and get your master's.
Yeah, yeah. Like, let's say for example, you go into Fresno State and you earn your bachelor's degree, but then you realize that you want to get higher education, and that's when you apply for graduate school, and that's when you work on your master's degree. Is what it is, and it's a complete different. It's a different level. That usually takes about 2 or 3 years, depending on the pace that you go. So if you feel that you want to get a master's degree to get higher opportunities for a job, you're more than welcome to do so. Or even a PhD also, if you want to be specialized in whatever job profession you want to do, then the PhD is there also. The opportunities are there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm thinking more or less about the CSU now.
CSU.
Because I do have almost all of the requirements. I'm still going to take the SAT and the ACT.
Yeah.
But I've taken all the classes, and my GPA is at a good. I have a good GPA right now.
What is it currently, Ben, if you don't mind me asking?
It's a 2.9.
2.9. Oh, okay. And
So-
you still got time to bring it up.
Right. Yeah. There's still.
We're about 4 weeks away before we finish up the fall semester, and then you still got the spring semester. So do you know what your grades are looking at right now?
Well, I've passed every one of my tests so far, and
Oh, okay.
in math I've got 100% in every one.
Oh, okay.
So-
So you're looking at pretty
And
much
my
all
last
A's right now?
Yeah, my last essay was 96%.
Oh, okay. So you're pretty much looking at all A's right now, right?
Yeah, pretty
Oh,
much.
okay. Then you
Maybe the GPA's changed. I haven't looked at it in a while, but last time I looked at it was.
Well, maybe, if you do end up with all A's by the end of this fall semester, then that will easily be able to bring up your GPA.
Right, because it's not over yet.
Yeah, no, you still got time, yeah. So, but also remember, you still got the spring semester, so you gotta finish up strong. So, let's say, I don't know if you haven't done it yet, but have you applied for colleges yet? Have you put in any applications yet?
No, I would like to do that with you later on if I could.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. We'll set up an appointment, and then we can set, let's focus on the application, on the financial aid first.
Right.
And then once we finish the financial aid, then we will focus on the college applications. And then the neat thing is that if you go under CSU Mentor, and you fill out that application can be sent to all state colleges, Fresno State, I believe it's Monterey State University, San Francisco State University, and then there's also San Bernardino State,
Okay, cool.
all state colleges, and you'll be able to submit just one application, and that application will submit it to all state colleges. So, I mean, we'll leave it as a plan, so we'll do this as a plan, so, plan number one to start off what we started talking at, just, talk to your sister about what we mentioned.
Right.
Let her know, hey, if you need anything, you can let me know, you can be part of our study group, and we'll be, we're here to help you out. But as I mentioned, if you see
Right,
anything.
because me and her right now are at the same rate of graduation. I don't want her to slow down. And I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
want to
no,
slow
yeah.
down.
So what you wanna do is, you wanna continue communicating with me, but have your sister come and see me also so we can talk to her. But as I mentioned, if you see any strange behavior, please let us know. Myself know, the teachers know, or the principal know, and we'll take care of it.
Okay, cool.
And then, as far as your college, remember, you're gonna come and see me next week on Monday, and we're gonna
Monday?
apply for financial aid.
Mhm.
And then we can come and see me the next day on Tuesday or Wednesday, and we can put in your applications for your college.
Sounds good.
And then after that, you're gonna get some letters, from the colleges, and they're gonna send you an email, and they're gonna say, we received your application, we're reviewing it. Or you can also, or you're probably gonna receive a letter or an email that'll say, congratulations, we've, potentially accepted you onto our college. And the reason why they will say potential is because you still gotta finish up the spring semester, you see what I mean, right? So it's always important that you finish up strong. So you're gonna get some acceptance letters, and that's when you wanna consider, okay, which one do I wanna go into? What college do I wanna, accept? Do I wanna go into Fresno State, Santa Cruz State, whatever you wanna go to? And then as we're getting closer to the ending of the spring semester, then we gotta start looking into completing the placement test, and then start looking into what classes are you gonna be taking.
Mhm.
So it'll be a step by step, but we'll take it one step at a time. So step number one, financial aid. Step number two will be college, and then from there, we'll take it after that.
Alright, cool. Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Vaca.
Oh, no problem, Ivan, thank you very much for coming, and then you
Yeah.
know that my doors are open here. I'll get the door for you, and then you have a happy Thanksgiving with you and your family, okay?
Thank you.
Alrighty, have a nice day.